Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. We did have a nice green ending today. We'll go over the spy and everything. I'm not convinced it's perfectly ready, but I think it's a really good base right here and probably going to be around its bottom, and we'll get cruising up. So we'll definitely touch on that and we'll break that completely down and we'll get cruising through. So here we go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. I'm just going to kind of fly through. I got to finish up. I didn't realize for the last few days, if you looked at the YouTube, it hasn't been updated. Yeah, I couldn't figure out what was going on with my computer. I'm like, am I getting a virus? What is going on with this thing here? I filled up all the memory and then started filling up all my cloud space, like all my cloud. And then today it just like didn't want to work at all. It did the show this morning and that was a wrap. And I was like, is that what's going on? Because a big message came up and I'm like, I either have a virus or the memory's full. And thank goodness it was just a memory. So it took me all day to sit there and get through everything and get it back to normal. And now it's working fine, but I still have to do a few things. So I'm going to roll through and then finish this stuff up tonight so that everything's uploaded and good to go. So yeah, it was driving me crazy. I had no idea what was happening there and it was all out of whack. So here we go. Let's rock and roll here. That GV jumped up today. Remember this thing we looked at it, not very recent, but that Visionary Holdings. I know it was on some lists before, and that thing ran way up there. And it's an education and training in Canada. Go figure about that one, Visionary Holdings. So that one did get cruising today. And here we'll see what's going to be moving for tomorrow because I do think things are getting set up now. And I think things are going to look much better after Friday. We have that crypto summit. Crypto looking a little better, and that looks like it wants to start popping up. So here we go. We'll get cruising through and look and see what's going on. That OCEA is setting up. It did have some pullback. I think yesterday was its bottom. Remember, today, I definitely told you guys keep an eye on it to be popping up there, and it was moving. It did go like 9 to 10. It's under 10 cents now. It's just over 9 cents, but it did run up there, and it's getting ready. So keep an eye on that one. It's looking really good there, OCEA. So you're going to want to watch that bad boy right there tomorrow again. And that TRNR did pull back today. And I guess it did top out the other day when it got up to that 396. It looked like it was trying to get back up there yesterday and just kind of pulling back, but I'm not so sure. And again, it's hitting the 52. So maybe the 20 is just going to roll up slowly on it. It was trying to crawl up a little bit faster. And your 20's down here at 154. And it is up at that 50 area. So that's at 215 right now. We'll see how it opens up tomorrow. Maybe it gets back into this channel and then get set back up. So we will keep an eye on the TRNR and SYRS. We've been looking at that one, trying to get set up here. And I think next week it's going to be trying to get set up, and we'll keep an eye on it. Just crossed down. So we'll see if it gets up to that MACD. It tried it once, and we'll see how it looks. We do know that they take a few times. So we're going to keep that pattern until it breaks it. So we will keep it monitoring that one, SYRS. And that one will be a good one once it gets ready because it'll be in a really good spot there. LRHC, this one was running around a little bit today. Nothing too crazy, but was trying to get moving. So keep an eye on it. It is trying to crawl up there, looking a little better, I must say. And it went like 21, came down to 19. It's at 21 right there. Yesterday's bottom was 18. That could have been that bottom right there. So again, this one, the 20's up here at about 24 cents, just under that. And that is LRHC, that real estate one. And it was set up really good before. It just got destroyed in all them pullbacks with the market. It wasn't going to hold itself up there. And SADIT, SDOT, that SADIT group one, this one's not looking bad and trying to roll off that MACD. And again, crawling down, coming down back onto the MACD. They like to roll off it 3 times. So keep your eye on SDOT because that does look like it wants to roll off of that 20 and the MACD there. It's in that channel and wants to get moving. So keep an eye on that as well. And AIM, this thing was up today as well. It's back. It's up to 13. It went even higher, I think. I think it got almost to 14 if I'm not mistaken. It did get up to 14. It opened at 14. I didn't even notice that, but I did see it today. I noticed it was at 14 and now it's at 13. It kind of jumped up. It went down to 12 and now it's at 13, a little over 13 cents there. So we'll keep an eye on it. It's hitting that 20 and it is trying to get set up here. So it, like I said, it'll probably get up into this channel, and then it's got to get up to the 17 and a half area, and it can get cruising up there. So that is that aim. And we looked, and we don't do much news on this show, that's for sure. And but they do have all kinds of crazy stuff going on with AIM, AIM, and Clued here, CLEU, that China liberal education. And this one, it reverse split. It tried to run up yesterday. I'm just trying to see if it wants to do anything tomorrow, because it just kind of ran around today. It went from 350. Actually, it pulled back more than I thought, 350 to 360, and then back to 270, and it's at 280 right there. So it did pull back some, and we'll see if it does try to get out of the basement. If not, Clue might not be that great. And yeah, that's just one of them China ones. They're crazy. They start reverse splitting, and it's not that great. OCGN, that one is trying to pull back right there. And again, they have what, earnings tomorrow, I believe. No, earnings were today. I'm not sure. It looks like everything was green, and I'm not sure how their earnings report was, but I'm sure we could look at it, the transcripts right there. I'll check it out later. But it looks like it's bottoming out here. And again, it's tried to curl up. Maybe it has one or two times, and then I think that chart's going to get changed around. We'll see if it does. I mean, if it does, it's going to be a really good one down here. So we will keep an eye on this OCGN and OKLO right there. That looked better yesterday. I think it tried to run up today, but pulled back. Let me see what it did here. OKLO. And that one did go 32.43 up to 32.91, back to 29.11, and it's at 30.21 there. So yesterday was probably its bottom at 26.91. So just bouncing around right here. And again, it's another one where it's just getting set up, and we'll have to see as it starts to curl up if that's where it wants to get through. And that is OKLO. And we'll keep an eye on that one. And again, we'll see. We'll keep that pattern right there. So obviously, we're gonna keep an eye on these things as they start getting the MACDs to make sure that they can get through. UPS was looking better today. Remember, we've been looking at this bad boy, and it was up a couple bucks, 117.50 to 119.58, and it's at 118.62, and not looking bad to try to run up here. So UPS looking pretty solid right there, I would say, and we were on that pretty early. And let's look at that LMT, good old Lockheed Martin LMT. Here we go. It was up 1160, and after Trump announced some aerospace and defense stuff yesterday and the Iron Dome and stuff, that thing went popping this morning. So there you go, 449 up to 463. It's at 460, and we were all over this thing early too, and we knew that bottom was at 419. So there you go with that LMT, and we do find them early. ELF, here's another one starting to move, guys. Keep an eye on this thing. It's looking much better right here. Good old ELF, ELF, that beauty one. So keep an eye on. It's trying to roll out of that, roll off the MACD and get out of the basement. So could have some serious movement on ELF right there. So keep an eye on that. And Advanced Auto Parts today was down a little bit, and this thing's going to start bottoming out. And again, this is the one that showed us that look. That's why it's still on here, just because we're going to nail it now, because it's the one that showed us that they were taking a couple times, and it sure did take two big hookups right up there to not come down and then like get knocked all the way down here. So we're just going to watch it, see where it bottoms out, Advanced Auto Parts, and we'll ride that right back on up there. And like I said, that was a beauty because it showed us this look, and I'll tell you what, it saved us on so many of them now in the last few weeks. We just know exactly when they're running, to be honest with you. So that's definitely there we go. What's up, Ben? I'm gonna add Ben from Story Trading's on there. I just happened to look over and saw that he was on there and requested. So hop on at any moment, Ben, whenever you want. And how are you, Ben? How's it going, my man? ASCS. Let's look at. Oh yeah, ASTS. Yeah, it's on the list. It's going to be on like at the very end. Let's go through it right now. I'm talking about advanced auto parts, but while you're on here, let's look at it because I know you got stuff to do. So yeah, that thing was popping up today. ASTS. It was up what 519, and it's hitting. It is hitting resistance. And so here, what I was just talking about with advanced auto parts. This is a great look. I was talking about it on the small cap show too. The technical side of it. Watch these things as they curl up on this MACD, just as ASTS is right now. It popped up, but the thing is, it's hitting that resistance up here, right where it topped out today, basically at 34.33. What it get to 34.10? So right around there, and it's hitting that MACD really hard. And lately, they've been taking like three or four times to get through it, and they do trick you. I'm telling you, I was just literally saying how they've saved us the last few weeks knowing this pattern because almost everything, including crypto, big caps, small caps, pennies, they're all doing it. It's kind of wild. I've never seen this before in my life. And so just be careful and make sure it can get through that MACD tomorrow. If it can, it's popping really hard. But again, I think it might have to pull back a little to set up. But you go ahead, Ben, and give us your thoughts on it because I know you cover everything. I'm just telling you what the chart looks like. Yeah, today's Monday, so you got 2 days. Yeah. Um, Well, honestly, so again, this one it has that strength to get through, and that's why I tell everyone at this point, like you have to make sure that they can get through. So your MACD, it's just try. I'm looking at both charts right here, and it is hitting it. It like is in that spot where it's trying to cross through. The one good thing with it is it did bounce off that 20 today, so it did pop up off of that area at about 28.91, and it kept the momentum going up, and it also got into like a little channel here between your 32.47 and exactly where it's hitting basically right now at it's at 33 something, but where it's hitting up here at like that 34 area. So it's in a little channel there, so it could stay in there and really pop up. So it has a lot of support and a lot of things going on. It also just it gives me that look where it could hit that MACD and bounce down tomorrow. If it does that, you're not going to reach that number by Friday. If it crosses through, you're smoking that number tomorrow. So that's what So right now it's basically a 1.37 on mine is what it says here. I don't even look at the number, so I don't even know. I just kind of look at the chart real quick and see where it's at. I actually never really even pay attention to that number on the side of it, but I just know. And here was the other thing with it. So it had crossed over it was running over the MACD, and then it's come crossing down really hard. And some of these that cross up that first time are the only ones that really get through the first one. basically your 34.22 area. If you can get back up over that, and it didn't get up there today, it was real close to it. What it get to that 34.10. If you can break over that tomorrow, it's going to go flying up. It'll be a beauty. And again, it has momentum. You'll know at like 4 a.m. Honestly, the wee bowlers always know in the morning what's going to happen. And this one especially, Ben, pay attention to it early in the morning too, because you might get that early morning pop and then a little bit of pullback as the market opens up at like 7 a.m. Just because, and again, if your options, that doesn't really help you any. Stocks, it would. But just with these momentum plays, and it has that momentum going into tomorrow, a lot of times they like to run up early in the morning. I mean, this is more of a big capper, so it could hold itself up. But yeah, you're looking at that number right there, like that 34.28. It looks like like right in that 34.25. It gets over that and holds it. It's going to get really rolling. You'll get right over your option, and you'll be way in the money because it'll get up in the top. It's just trying to hit that top. It's at what, 64.47 in the RSI. So you're right. It's getting up to that 70. It's not there yet. So it's just got that look where it could go either way, honestly. I wish I could say it's definitely bouncing off, and I'll look at it at 7 a.m. for sure for you, and even post about it for you in the morning. So yeah, but we've been covering. I've had it on here. I know we covered it on the small cap show. You brought it up. I think you were the first person that brought it up, I believe, that brought it on my radar, and I started covering it on here. I started covering a bunch of them that we go over on that show. I tell everybody about, like, and then I give the fundamentals that I hear about it, because again, I don't know anything about these stocks. They're like, yo, check this out because these guys know what they're talking about. So it's about the only fundamentals you'll ever hear is what I learned from your show. So it's good stuff. Nice. Oh yeah. It's been a great one, especially today. It went up over like almost, it closed up at like 18%, but it was up even higher at one point. Yeah, no, like I said, it gets over that 35, 34.25. You're smoking through 35 like it's not even there. It's hitting 36, 37 without even trying. Awesome, Ben. Appreciate you jumping on. I'll touch base with you in the morning about it, and we'll check it out for sure. You have a great night, and I'll talk to you and everybody. That's Ben from Story Trading. He's a great dude, and he's always on the small cap show that I go on and talk about. And yeah, I appreciate them guys from Wolf. They're good people over there, and I'm telling you, their shows are really knowledgeable. A lot of fundamentals and cool stuff on them shows. So ASTS, you got a good breakdown on that one tonight. And like I said, it is. I mean, I was going to go over it anyway. It was right after on the second side. And yeah, it does have momentum going. And I was looking at it obviously today. So, because we've been talking about it and it was up today. So yeah, ASTS, keep an eye on that AST Space Mobile. And these guys were in this thing early as well. And I know they were trading in and out of it at like 27 before, because that's when I heard about it on the small cap show. So that is a really good show on Mondays at 1 o'clock. I jump on there and I have a great time. Is it one or two? I forget, but one of them times I'll start posting it out all the time. And yeah, the guys on there are super knowledgeable about the fundamentals, and I just like to look at all the all the charts as they go through them. It's a good time for me. And like I said, I kind of learn about a few things. It's interesting to me. I never look at any fundamentals. So it's always fascinating to hear people talk about it because I just know none of, like, never even looked at it in my life, really. It never mattered to me. I just do the charts. So anyway, we will get cruising there. But there you go, Ben, and good people over there. ASTS. And there you are with that one. And here we go. We'll keep on rolling. And I know we were on advanced auto parts. And again, we were just talking about that thing bouncing up. And again, ASTS has already made that curl down. It's making a hard curl up. So we'll see. It's trying to go up there. And it's one of the few ones lately, I'll be honest, that has that momentum that recently is coming up to the MACD like that. So I am real curious to see what that does in the morning because maybe that can kind of break the trend because lately they've been hitting it and coming down. And this one honestly kind of looks like it might get through. It does have that resistance where I was telling you, but if it gets over that area, boom, it's going. So there you go with that. Advanced Auto Parts, another one way down there. And again, gave us that look where we knew that they were hitting the MACD. So it'll be, I'm curious if that ASTS does that tomorrow. So we're gonna see either way. Obviously, we're gonna cover it for sure. And there you go, a little talk about that one there. So that was Advanced Auto Parts and ASTS and TTD. This thing was down $1. I'm just watching this thing today. Like, this thing's getting real interesting, guys. I still think yesterday was its bottom down there at 64. What was it? 64.56. It said, yeah, 64.56. And that TTD is that trade desk, and I really think that one's a good one right there. So keep an eye on. And again, maybe this ASTS, I mean, this has that big old fish hook, so it should get through. It's been in the basement. I don't see it really dipping down harder, to be honest. But yeah, maybe this ASTS is going to break that little trend there. And I could see it happening soon because, again, that's something that you don't see all the time. And, but also, it's something we definitely picked up on, and they've been doing it. But it looks like crypto is going to break it too. So I think maybe after the summit Friday, everything gets cruising, and obviously we're going to go through the SPY and all. But that's that TTD, and I'm telling you, keep an eye on that, especially tomorrow. It's getting right there as it gets to the MACD. We might see that bounce tomorrow. So keep your eye on that thing tomorrow. I know we've been looking at it, and good old logic mark right here, LGMK. That's where we're looking, and it is crossed through. And this one is it tried to get through a few times. It's still in the basement, but did cross through, and now we're starting to see them kind of move through. So it is much better, and it is trying to run up. It went, what, 17 to 21 today. It closed at 18 there, logic mark, and that's looking pretty good for tomorrow. So keep your eye on that one as well. And good old HEPA, HEPA, we've been watching, was down a penny right there, but it wasn't looking terrible. Let me take a look at it real quick. Here we go. And yeah, yesterday, I think yesterday might have been a lot of the bottoms, and including with the SPY. I don't know if they're exactly ready to get rolling like tomorrow. And again, I think they could wait until after the Friday. So maybe next week could be a really hopping week right now. So that's what it's kind of setting up to look like. And HEPA looks like it's just touching into the basement real quick and going to roll off that MACD. So HEPA looking good. And again, looking good to set up there. DGLY, another one, looks like it bottomed out yesterday and looks much better. So I really think that we're going to see some turning around here. It got down to 6 cents. It might even got lower today. But again, I think that we're seeing these bottoms come in, and maybe you see a little dip and rip action on them. But obviously, um, you'll obviously see them getting set up and running. So that's DGLY also trying to do it right there. And let's see what else is trying to rock and roll here. APLD, Applied Digital Corp. This one's trying to get cruising, and another one had crossed through coming down, and we'll see. It's in a good spot to bounce off. So I think maybe this pattern could be getting changed. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on this one as well. Has some resistance up here at about 835, and it is trying to get crossed up here, like hit the MACD, and it's rolling off some good support lines. So we will definitely take a look at APLD tomorrow. And that's one that's run up with like crypto and all. So keep an eye on that. And that is APLD and that NIVF. This one was running up today. And remember, we were talking about it being in a really good spot to watch for it to try to bounce up. Well, I know a couple of you hit me up today because it was bouncing up 125 to 190. And again, I was on my computer just trying to get that thing back in order today. So I apologize if I didn't I wasn't messaging or posting as much. I was just trying to get this thing in working order. I didn't know what was happening, so my apologies, but it's all good now, and we'll be back in working order and cruising. So I know that that's for sure because yeah, they look like they're bottoming out. I'm like, how's this market going to start running? My computer doesn't want to work all of a sudden. What great timing! But anyway, it works. And NIVF was popping today. Watch it tomorrow morning too, guys. Keep an eye on that bad boy in the morning because it does look like it might want to keep that momentum. So yeah, maybe it is going to look much better. I mean, some of these look good, and honestly, some of these penny stocks might get rolling before the like big caps do. We see that happen pretty often. You get that penny stock big surge and then they pull back and then the big caps get rolling. SLNH, let's look at that. It was down a little bit today. This thing's trying to get set up. I don't know if it's exactly ready. It's starting to try to crawl up again. I think this one might have to hit it and bounce down, but again, we'll see if that pattern's going to get broken soon. I'll keep an eye on this one because it's another good one that's done it a few times, and if it goes through, you're going to start to see that start to shift and then get back to normal. And again, they were normal running charts before, and they will get back to normal. It's just all these tariffs and all this craziness going on. And again, I don't remember ever seeing something like this where it picked up a pattern like that before, where it was across the board, maybe a sector or two, but nothing like this. How they been, but yeah, you'll see it get back way to normal, and then we'll see them get popping like crazy. SOBR, here's one was crossing through and trying to bounce out of that basement. Remember we were looking at it last night. I wasn't so convinced, and here we go. It's trying to cross through real hard. So again, I seen a lot of them today trying to make that look, and that's why I was saying you got to just be careful. But I'm not gonna lie, it does look like they tried to bottom out yesterday, and maybe they'll start ripping through the MACDs. I just don't want to tell you to jump into them and they hit it and bounce down. So obviously we got to play it where we know it's going to be safe, but keep your eye on them. If you see them start cruising through, they're going to keep running. So you know that, and honestly they'll might pull back a little bit and set up, and then they're really going to be popping off. So it's not like you're missing anything. And like I keep saying, you don't want to jump in them and have them pulling back. You'd rather find that bottom and know that they're going up and get on them as they're moving up. They're a lot safer because you get in them and they pull back. It's a disaster for you. So that's SOBR. Definitely did pop up today. And PLUG, we talked about this one yesterday, and we have been. And this one, Plug, I actually mentioned this one on the small cap show, as a matter of fact. And Plug, PLUG, Plug Power, that one's rolling up there, hitting that 20 right now. And we'll see if it can keep cruising through that 169 area. It's at 168. It looks pretty solid, guys. So keep an eye on PLUG. Good old Plug right there. Not looking bad to keep plugging its way up there. And let's take a look and see what our good old friend Holo is doing. HOLO down 2 cents. And this one is trying to roll off that MACD. We knew it was kind of bottoming out the other day. It was popping back up a little bit and just kind of bouncing around that 20s above it at 123 or at 106. And we'll just see. It is over the MACD, so we'll see if it does want to get cruising right here. And again, it did come down, rolled off, and they do like to do it like 3 times now. So it could certainly keep getting set up right there. And ADTX looks much better. It was up a little bit today. And that one's trying to roll off the MACD. And remember, we talked about this last night, saying exactly that. And here you go. And that 20's up there at like 8 cents. So keep your eye on it. It is under 6. It's at like over 5.5, though. It's almost at 6. And Yeah, it is trying to roll up there, ADTX. And again, we ran that up to what, like 14, 15 cents, I forget, almost 16. And then it pulled all the way back hit down here. So another opportunity. And again, we hit that very bottom. ADTX is at one like ALLR. And I put CETX on the list because that's our new one. So yeah, we did ALLR, ADTX, both of them for 100%. They were in the basement forever. CETX will be the next one, so we'll keep an eye on that one. And again, ADTX trying to set back up there, so keep an eye on that one. And PSQH right here. Let's see that PSQ Holdings. And that one is, look at this one, one, two, and here comes the third one coming out of the basement. So honestly, guys, I think we might start to see a little bit of a change here on the on that pattern. This one could get through PSQH, and it is way down there. It looks like yesterday bottomed out. It did run up a little bit today, but I'd be excited to see them start rolling through the MACD. That's for sure. I'll look at this one, 269 to 280. It's at 274. And yeah, I'm definitely keeping an eye on them tomorrow for that look, especially because if they can do it, we're in good business. They'll get back to normal and just start popping off, and we don't really have to worry about it as much. And that it's fine. Like I said, that just knowing that pattern saved us for a little bit. And look how much they were pulling back. You had that pullback period. Now you're starting to see that bottom. I wouldn't be surprised if it changes. And now you know it's the bottom that's going to change back. That's a beautiful thing, guys, because we caught that thing perfectly. And honestly, last Sunday, we knew to short the market down. And look at that. You could have shorted it down for the last 8 days straight and had made money. So we called that perfectly, just knowing. And I told you I wasn't so convinced it was going up, and it wasn't going up. True Golf is looking better, and yeah, True Golf, TRUG. I couldn't remember the letters right there. But yeah, True Golf's not looking too bad right here. And this one we talked about on the small cap show, and we'll have to see what that one's going to do. But like I said, it is trying to set back up and try to roll back up there. So I'll keep an eye on True Golf as well. And a lot of these are giving us that look. We've seen it before where they started to get that momentum as well. And then and they hit the MACD and come back down. So I'm not definitely getting that excited about it, but they do look better than they have before. I'll tell you that. So there you go with True Golf, and let's take a look and see what FBGL is doing. That's that new one, and it is trying to curl back up now. And again, yesterday could have been its bottom. It's brand spanking new, so it doesn't give you too much of a look. February 6th, I'm just looking at candles here. That's about it. It's in the basement, doesn't tell you much. You guys know I like to look at like 6 months out just to take a quick peek, and I can tell you. But this did go 82 to 116, and it's at 106 there. So it did move today. I know that. And I think it was running up in the after hours. And again, it's one that we looked at, and I was telling you, I think it might be trying to get to that bottom. We'll keep an eye on it. Well, I think a couple people had it. So there you go. And it could be trying to, if it crawls out of that basement, it's really going to get rolling there. And again, you don't have much data to go off of chart wise that I like, but it isn't looking bad. I can tell you there's a little resistance right up at 108 right there. So there you go with that FBGL right there. So keep an eye on that. And how about that CYCU? I know you guys knew that we were the first ones really keeping track of this bad boy, and it did run up today. And again, it's a big old fish hook coming up. And it did 70 to 98, and it closed at 74. So it ran up this morning. I know that it did pull back, and it probably will be bouncing around as it's curling up there. But there you go, a couple days out from it really curling up, and they do run like that. And that GV we talked about earlier, and it is up $2.40. Visionary Holdings, and look for it tomorrow as a momentum play in the morning. Laptop Travel and Crew in the morning. Keep an eye on this bad boy for popping up, and it's in the top, and it has that look where it wants to keep running there. I have a feeling this one's going to be one of them big runners tomorrow. So keep your eye on GV right there. And good old Ford. Remember I was telling you it was trying to set up? No wonder why, because Trump was talking to these guys. Um, It did run up. I think he like paused the tariffs for them for like an extra month until the reciprocal tariffs or something come in. So anyway, that is Ford, and it is in that channel, and it's looking good 931 to 967, and it closed at 963, and it is getting set up, guys. So keep your eye on this Ford. And I mentioned it before as it was down at the bottom down here. I said something was going on, and it was down at like not 896. Now you're in the nines. But yeah, this thing's going to get set up and running. And again, obviously, Trump's all about the American companies and American automakers. So Ford, you can figure, will be on that list right there. And good old B Hat, Blue Hat Interactive Entertainment. This thing was popping up. Remember, it was getting to be in a really good spot right here. It jumped into that spot today, and it did. I think yesterday was its bottom. So you might see a crossover on here. Keep an eye on Blue Hat, and we'll see if it does cross up tomorrow. I'm telling you, this pattern will change, and it'll be amazing, guys. I'm telling you, we'll get cruising right there. So take a look at B Hat in the morning as well, and BNZI. This one was looking pretty good to set up last night. It's at that bottom and it's basing out, and I would just keep an eye on it for any little dips right here. Oh, it had it today right there down to 119. Keep an eye on this thing because I knew it was going to try to dip and probably rip 134 down to 119 and back to 131. Telling you, keep an eye on that BNZI as well. And AGH, a couple people on StockTwit seem to like this. I didn't even look at it. It's Aurorus Greenway Holdings. Didn't we look at it yesterday? This is a brand new one too. This one just fired up on February 12th, and it was up a penny. Let me see if I can get a good look at it and see what's happening here. Besides it pulled back, it ran up when it first opened and it pulled back here. I would say it's going to be down here making a little base. I don't see it really running yet for this AGH, and it's a leisure company. I don't see anything crazy there, but again, it just started up there. I don't know what they even do. Obviously, I have no idea, but they started February 12th and it was at like 437. You're at 76 cents. So I'd say it took a pretty nice dip right there, and I will keep an eye on that. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's ready just yet, but that is your AGH right there. And like I said, I'll keep an eye on it and see what it wants to do. And let's look at HHH. That's Howard Hughes Holdings. And this thing is trying to get set up. Your 20 and 50 are meeting up right there to push it up here. And it is looking really good. Keep an eye on HHH tomorrow. Howard Hughes Holdings. That is looking really good. And let's see. I don't know what this one is. I'm gonna have to go to mine. I'm thinking that it's an OTC, or if it's on there, IHTMF. I didn't see anything when I looked on the stock charts either. I'm not sure what that was, but it was with the HHH one, so he definitely put both of them, I think. Unless I was looking up the wrong thing, but I'm not sure. There is an IHT, so maybe he wanted IHT NMF because I think that's one too. So I'll look at IHT right here, and that's not looking bad. It is kind of curling up. It just got through the MACD, and it's up in a up channel right there. IHF or IHT, I'm sorry. In Suites Hospitality Trust. I mean, I'd have to look at it tomorrow real quick. Let me write it down. IHT. And then maybe he wanted MF too. Maybe I just combined two of them. I'm not even sure there. That's very well possible now that I think about it. But anyway, that's funny. IHT, I'll take a look at. And isn't there an MF? Oh, MFH, I was thinking. It's not MF, it's MFH. I was thinking about that one. And Mercury FinTech, I'll look at that anyway. This one's kind of coming down actually, and this one might be a good one to add to the list, MFH. So let me add that to the list too while we're at it. So there you go. MFH, I'm adding that to the list because that's pulling back and going to get set up there. So there you go with that. And let me see. What did I just hit refresh? MFI, you're saying? Let's look at that one real quick. MFI, MF International. I know wasn't that on your list because yeah, that one looks really good too. Maybe you're right. Laptop travel. Maybe it is MFI because that one's looking pretty nice as well. MFI gonna bounce off that line right there, and another one just crossed down. We'll see. It made like one little hook up there to try to, but not really. And it started running today. You're right. 55 to 90. It's at 79, looking good. I would keep an eye on that. And that one may cross through. So, guys, this pattern may change. And Ben may be really happy tomorrow if that pattern changes because that ASTS will go nuts. I'm telling you, it will. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it get. And again, I was waiting for it to kind of bottom out here to figure that that's when it would try to change. And I was just being super patient because we knew we caught on to that, and it was definitely going. It was holding true. So if it they start crossing through, we're in good shape, guys. I'll tell you that. And it was just temporarily, and it's fine. We'll catch these all off the bottom and run them up like crazy. I can't even imagine what the options are. Just shorting it down wasn't bad for the SPY. It wasn't that crazy. I mean, amazing. It was good. I'm not gonna lie, but I can imagine what these options are gonna start paying when they start flying up like crazy. So it'll definitely be good right there. But there you go, MFI looking good right there. Thank you, Laptop Travel. And actually, that was the next one anyway. Holy cow, MFI was the next one. That's fun. And I don't even think that he only put two of them. So, yeah, I remember because I was like, I looked it up and you might be completely right there. So, I might have had them all crazy. IHT might have been one, MFI and HHH. I think that's exactly what it was. XLO, I'm going to have to go back and look, but I think you're right. XLO right here. And we looked at this one, and this one's starting to curl up. Keep an eye on this one. And again, if this one gets that look, or it gets that well, that look of that curl up right there, these things are going to start cruising, guys. And this is a USA Biotech one and is looking really good. So, yeah, we could see it start to change that pattern around real quick. And again, I don't mind one bit. It's perfect with me. I just was waiting and being patient about it, but as soon as they do it, you know they're going to be popping. I can promise you that. And that's XLO looking good right there. ALLR, and maybe they don't just start flying tomorrow. Pal speaks Friday at 12:30 right there, so that's something good could be going on. And then you have that crypto summit going on, guys. Thanks, Luis Rodriguez. Appreciate that. I don't know. I think today's the most I've ever looked at the phone and the thing while I was going through these, and I said I was going to do them fast, and then Ben hopped on, which is perfectly fine. Ben's awesome, and I just been seeing all this, so. Hey, so I'm telling you, my computer was jacked up for like a good week or so. It was just running like weird and slow. I'm like, is this thing got like I didn't know what was going on, but now I figured it out. So, and then I started to not be able to find the shows. Like I was recording, it would say it recorded them. I'm like, where'd that record at? It wasn't where I always recorded them. So I had no idea what was going on. I was kind of baffled. It was kind of real confusing, but it definitely figured it out today. And ALLR, this one's shooting up, guys. We were just talking about this one as well. And guess what? It did cross through right there. I think we're gonna see that pattern change, guys. This one got up there and started moving into that channel right there, and it ran 88 to 109. It's at 103 right there for ALLR. Keep an eye on that. And this SUNE, that was way down. I know that. What did it do today? I forget. I know I looked at it because it's on the list. It's still down there, but I think it's making that bottom. Remember, we were looking at it last night, or yeah, I think last night, and I think it is trying to make that bottom right there. So I'll keep an eye on the Sun Nation SUNE. That'll be a really good one right there. So we will absolutely keep an eye on that. This is a good list right here. KNW. This is brand spanking new and just went nuts today. I guess it opened today and then it went 245 to 947 and it closed at 306. KNW. I gotta see this. No Labs. That's what it's called. It looks like it did some. What this? It says that it was like doing something January 29th and then today. But I won't count January 29th. And today it certainly says 290 to 947, and it's at 421. It says over there. So yeah, I have no idea what's going on with this thing right here. But I, I have no idea. I have no lab idea what's happening with no labs right here. And so, yeah, you can just keep an eye on it if you want. But I think it started back up today, maybe. I have no clue. And that CETX, I told you we are going to look at this thing, and it started curling up today. Remember, we started looking at it? I said it was going to be the new ALLR and the other one right there. Well, guess what? It's starting to curl up, and it's going to start moving. So, keep your eye on the CETX because it's going to be a nice runner when it gets moving. It's been in that basement for a while, and I think we're just going to catch it right at the perfect time right here. It is curling up. So keep your eye on CETX, and that's why I was talking about it earlier. And what is the other one? ADTX, that's it. ADTX and ADTX and ALLR, and now CETX is going to be the new one. So there you go. And this one will run 100%, I'm sure. It is. This one's not as cheap as the other two. The other two are like true penny stocks, and this one's at the dollar range. But this one also split back in November, so it is looking good to get out of that basement. All I know is it could get running right there. We know that. And that is CETX. And here we go. Let's get cruising through the other side. ILAG. And this thing's curling up, guys. This thing, I think, bottomed out the other day. And this looks really good. It's a Hong Kong company, ILAG, and it's like intelligent living application. It ran up today, what, 55 to 74. It's at 72. And keep an eye on this. If it wants to cross through, it'll get cruising. KNW was KNWND on the OTCs before. Oh, it was an OTC and it switched over. Wow. I don't see that. You usually see it the opposite way. Thanks, laptop travel. Ken, I don't even, I just saw that out of nowhere. And, I think the computers actually, I don't, maybe I wasn't even seeing things before because I don't even think they were popping up. Like I said, I don't even think the computer was really working that well. And I do the spaces on my phone. So obviously that was fine, but everything else was all jacked up. So yeah, maybe I wasn't even seeing stuff because I told you I look at the computer now on the thing and I just see things popping up real fast. So yeah, my computer must have been all jacked up. So I didn't know what was happening, but ILAG looking great right here. And now I know to make sure I kind of delete everything, like monthly at least. I had all, I guess, 6 months plus of just straight shooting videos and everything. So it was crazy. And it was a lot of content. I can see why it stopped. But ILAG, again, if this thing crosses through, holy cow. Now it's hitting that 20 and it's making that big hook up. So I don't know, but it is trying to get out of the basement. And again, we'll make sure that we pay attention and see if this pattern's going to get broken. If it does, this thing can really get cruising right here, ILAG. So you might want to keep an eye on that one as well. And we did a STS pretty good, so we won't have to do that. And LAC, that Lithium Americas Corp guys is running up. And I think yesterday was its bottom. Look for this one. And again, I was looking at it today, like, are these things going to cross through? So another one has a great look, just crossed down, trying to get rolling. That 20's up here at 291. I mean, I'm not 100% convinced, but it can definitely happen really quick and definitely turn around and happen soon. So, like I said, not 100% convinced, but it's definitely in the cards here. So I will say we're giving it a good look, and I'm just telling you what to look for because I don't want them to hit it and bounce down, and everyone say, "Oh, I thought they were going through," and including myself. So because they look like they want to change around a little bit. GNS, another one. I mean, this will give you a good look. Just cross down, wants to go right back up again. So. Let's take a look at that in the morning. GNS, I didn't even look at this today, but it looks like it crossed right on through again. So I don't know, guys. That one's looking pretty good as well. And if this market opens up popping tomorrow, these things could be moving. So I'm not 100% convinced. And obviously, we'll be on at 7 a.m. to see what they're up to. But we will be monitoring them too and definitely keeping you posted about everything. Because once that thing switches like a light switch, they're going to start cruising. And again, you don't want to be in them as they're pulling back, as you can see. But you want to be in them once they start going up. I promise you. Remember, I was saying you definitely want to have cash on hand, and this is the reason why. Because when they start moving like that, you definitely want to be jumping into them. So ZXSP, let's see what that's doing. It does have earnings coming up on the 13th, which is on next Thursday, it looks like. It's down at the bottom. It is setting up to be bullish. I'll just take a look at it and see what it is up to more or less in the next few days because we'll let it set up as it comes up to its earnings right there. And RNAZ, I know this one had run before really big. I forget what it's called. If I could type it in, it would be good. Transcode, that was what I remember this one was a big runner before. And this one just came down into the basement, but kind of making a little base down here. Exactly the ones that we love. I'll tell you that right now. And RNAZ is one to keep on the list right there. I don't know if it's going to go popping tomorrow, but it's definitely that look that I like to keep an eye on. And we definitely watch for them to get set up and watch when they get booming right there. So I will keep an eye on that one, RNAZ. And the antelope, AEHL, good old antelope. Let's see if it wants to hop around because it does look like it wants to roll off that MACD. Yesterday looks like it was its bottom, and it does look like it's trying to get rolling here. And again, if it can roll off that MACD and pop up to this 20 at 13 cents and get through, it's gone. It's definitely running like an antelope. So has that potential. It's been over the MACD, and we know they like to roll off. So I would absolutely keep an eye on AEHL, the good old Antelope Enterprise Holdings right there tomorrow. That could be a mover for us. So STSS, keep an eye on this one too, because this was running up a little bit today, trying to base out here, and it is trying to get out of the basement as well. I know we've been looking at it, and we'll see. It's curling up. I'm not convinced it's ready to pop, but it could. It's right on that bottom line. And again, these things get curled up. They're going to be bouncing really good, really quick. So it doesn't matter if you don't want to jump in early and get smoked on them if they do pull back, but you want to be ready if they're starting to bounce up. You take the ones that you're looking at and you're confident in, and you run it up real quick and trade it smart. You don't want to be jumping in a bunch of them either because they're going to be moving around real fast. So AGMH. Let's look at that. AGM groups. And this thing's down at the bottom. This thing had curled through coming down, actually curled up and came right back down. And there's a really nice spot down here. AGMH. Yeah, that thing looks good. I would say to keep an eye on this. And I mean, it's way down here, 10 cents, and it was just up in the dollar range not long ago. And I mean, it's a pretty good one. It looks like it's pretty solid, to be honest with you. I don't know what happened to it, but they had some offerings. That's what happened in March. March 2nd, did they have? They had an offering like yesterday. That's what happened. And yeah, let's keep an eye on that. They just had an offering. We love when that happens because then we can just find when it wants to run and get in right there for the pop. And Adobe ADBE is looking real good. You're right, Luis Rodriguez. I believe that was on yours. They do have earnings coming up on the 12th, which is next Wednesday. And that thing's making that hard curl up. So if Adobe runs through tomorrow, you know they're going to start changing. And it looks like it wants to, honestly. So keep an eye on good old Adobe right there. I'll be watching that one in the morning because it is looking really good. And again, let's see if these can cross through. If they can, it's going to be amazing. AMAT, Applied Materials. Wasn't this called, wasn't that stock ticker something else? And I just thinking, I think I'm thinking of something different because this is a semiconductor, unless they just changed the company or so. I don't know. Anyway, who cares? AMAT, Applied Materials. And this thing's been down there and did do like the 3 or 4 banger trying to get up. It's at the bottom. I bet it's ready to get rolling now. And yeah, I'm telling you guys, we could be seeing that change just happening right here. So keep an eye on this AMAT as well. And let's look at NLCH and see. What is that one? Did I write it wrong? NLCH. Not coming up there. Is it going to come up here? NLCH. What was that one? Wasn't that one of Luis Rodriguez, or am I totally off there? I'm not even sure. But if I don't know what it is, please post it again because I'm not sure what that was. Could have wrote it wrong for all I know. NOC, I know what that one was. Grunman. And this one is trying to get moving. I know we've been looking at it, and yeah, it was running up a little bit today, and I think it's trying to pop up here. NCLH, I definitely wrote it down wrong. Thanks, Laptop Travel. And yeah, I'm pretty sure my computer just wasn't working before because I'm sure because things are just popping up and I see them. I wasn't even seeing things last. I don't even think they were popping up on here. That's crazy. NOC, and it was going on for days. NOC is looking good. I'll tell you what, it does look like it wants to run up right there. It's an aerospace and defense one, and it does look nice. And I know we found that at the bottom down there at what that like 420 area or something, 426. It's at 474 right now, so definitely looking good. And let's look at that NCLH. Let me write it down right down here. NCLH here. NCLH. All right, let me look at this one. That's Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings. Oh, that one's a nice dip down there. And that one does look like it wants to try to get out of the basement, huh? I don't think they like to run in the basement very much, these things. Let's see. Yeah, they run at the top all the time. These like cruise lines, and when they get in the basement, it's usually when they have like bad news or really bad earnings or something crazy. But these guys just had earnings on February 27th, and it does look really good. Yesterday, it looks like it bottomed out there at 2028. We're at 2029 area, 21 or 2127 area. 2128, something like that. But yeah, not looking bad at all for the cruise line right there for Norwegian. So that's NCLH right there. There we go. Excuse me. And let's see what Shot's doing. SHOT. Shots. Safety Shot. It is a non-alcoholic beverage. Look at that. It's that's pretty funny. I had no idea. Um, it is jumping up too. It was up 8 cents. Everybody's taking shots, and they're not even alcoholic right here. Non-alcoholic safety shots. Here we go. 48 to 58. It closed at 57. I'd keep an eye on this thing. It has a shot and running up tomorrow, especially early, guys. So keep an eye on that. Thanks, Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel right there for sending that in because I definitely wrote that one wrong. But yes, shot. Keep an eye on that. Like I said, definitely has a shot to run up. And good old Rhyme, we know this one really well. And let me see if I can type it in. RIME, here we go. And let's see what's happening with Rhyme. That looks like it bottomed out yesterday, too, guys. I would keep an eye on good old RIME right here. It really does look like at 171 was its bottom. It's at 203 right now, and it is looking pretty good. So keep an eye on RIME, looking pretty decent right there, I must say. And TPST, let's see what that is up to. TPST, Tempest Therapeutics. That's in a really good spot to try to bounce up. And again, this one might want to just crawl right through. So keep an eye on this one. I'm telling you, we might see that change. And you had like a couple little tries, but nothing major. And this one could get bouncing right where it's at. Keep an eye on TPST. I like that one too. And that UOKA, it wasn't getting crazy today, but it was yesterday. It was down a little bit today. And I mean, what do you expect? It went wild and we knew it was going to. But honestly, I don't think it's in a bad spot. That's why I left it there. And it's just curling back up to hit the MACD. This thing's pretty wild 15 to 17. It's at 16. And it just happened to run yesterday from 16 to 26. So I think it's still in a good spot, guys. Keep your eyes on this UOKA. And again, I still don't know what the heck goes on with this company, but it runs up. It was in a great spot. It ran perfectly for us, and it still looks pretty good. So there you go with that. And BROS is Dutch Brothers. And this one I know was way up in the top the other day. It is pulling back at the moment right here. Does look like it's coming down. Good old Brothers. Brother. What is Dutch Brothers doing here? They have any news? I'm sure they did. El Pollo Loco and nope, doesn't say anything. What did he do? Dutch Brothers is a restaurant? I don't even know. But it looks like it's pulling back and it might come down to that 50 at like 64 something. So and 6450 area. And that is BROS, and that is Dutch Brothers. But yeah, it does look like it's pulling back at the moment. And there you go with them bad boys. And here I'm going to go through some laptop travel ones. He had two tiers tonight. I'm just going to post you guys out. You guys can take a look at them real quick, the second tier and the first tier. So here you go for our community. I'll just shoot them out for you. You guys can look laptop here. Just take a look. You guys will take a peek. I'm going to go through the first top ones real quick because again, I want to hop off and get my computer all top notch so it's working perfect tomorrow. So there you go. That's for you guys, and you guys can take a look and follow along. And again, take a look at them second tier ones because I was looking at them actually as I was making the list, and there's a really good ones there. But I'm just gonna cruise through some real quick here. AGRI, and that's that AgriForce one, and I these ones are all great too, and the other ones are real good setup. So these first tier, I love that first tier, second tier because these ones were looking great as well. And they are looking first tier AGRI. So keep an eye on this AgriForce growing systems. It looks like it's trying to grow in the perfect spot to get bouncing right there. So I would absolutely keep an eye on that AGRI and that BOWN right here. Let's look at that one, that Bowen Acquisition. Remember that shell company? That was running up today. I know that because that's been on the list. 378 to 520. It's at 456, 456 right there. So looking good for Bowen Acquisition Corp. And that one's running up. And that one's been on the list. And CSCI right here, Coscience or something, Biopharma, and this one's in a great spot and rolling off that MACD. So this one's looking really good as well, guys. In that 20, it was running up today, 275 to 290. It's at 278, and it does look like it wants to get cruising right there. So another great one to keep an eye on. And also MSW, Ming Xing Group Holdings, is a engineering construction in Hong Kong, it says. And this thing's just about to try to roll off that 20 right there. So keep an eye. It looks like it might have had a little pullback at the end, 566 to 579. And then it came down to 537, but it did close at 564. So it looks like it pulled back and then got back up there at the end. And that is MSW right there, not looking bad as well. And QNRX, this is at Coin Pharmaceuticals, and this thing was curling up today. I did notice this, and it does look really good. Glad it's on the list right here because this thing does look nice. And again, it's been over the MACD, and each time it wants to roll off just like they've been. It recently ran up to 31 to 48 on the 27th of February, and it does look like it wants to get back over this 20 at like 31 cents and get rolling. So keep an eye on that, and it is. It's like right there between that 31 and 32. So another good one to keep an eye on for tomorrow. THCH, TH International right here. Just a little flat right there, but over that 50. Let me see. THCH. Yeah, it did run up 325 to 335, then pull back to 303, but then closed where it opened. I was going to say, it looks kind of funky. Has a flat look, but I would keep an eye on this thing. I bet this tries to get running, and if it doesn't do it tomorrow, it'll start setting up really good for next week. And Tops, TOPS, is Top Ships, and this one was trying to curl up right there off that 20. And honestly, it has that hard line at 620. It's at 604 right here. And if that just stays in this channel, which it's probably going to like 629, this thing might be an amazing setup. So we will absolutely keep an eye on this. I'll look at it tomorrow, TOPS, and just look and see if it wants to bounce off that 20 tomorrow. And if it doesn't, it'll be a really good setup coming up probably next week. And ZAPP, remember this one, Zap Electric Vehicles. This one's trying to run back up. I think that one bottomed out yesterday. And what was it? It ran 90 down to 66. It closed at 76 yesterday and then started running today, 72 to 86. It's at 85 and looking pretty good. Keep your eye on Zap. And zone, this one, remember we were talking about it getting into the zone. It certainly was. And it is trying to cross through really quick. So I'm telling you, it does look like they're changing that pattern. And zone's even doing it. It just made that, well, this one was kind of doing it, but it's still a lot more other ones are actually doing it and looking like they want to. So yeah, keep an eye on zone because this clean core solutions could get moving. And I know it was running up the other morning. It ran up to like 158. It's at 118 right now. ZONE and ZOZ, Zoo's power. And this one is curling up just a little flat. It's in that channel. And it is a specialty retail in Israel, it said. And yeah, it's right on that 20. Watch for it to get up to this 225 area. And then it will get set up right off of that. And that is ZOOZ. I never even heard of that one before. But there you go for Zoo's power. And there you go for your laptop travel loadout laptop, or they're not even your lowdowns. There's your laptop travel setups for tomorrow. Your lowdowns will be tomorrow morning. And yeah, and then tweeted out that list. You guys can take a peek at it and look at the second tier because there's some other great ones on there setting up. But yeah, some beauties on there too. And like I said, that AGRI and a couple other ones are really good for tomorrow. We'll look at our Jolie's jams real quick. We'll do our crypto, our big caps, and everything else real quick. And then I'm gonna get my computer tuned up and ready to rock and roll for the rest of the week, so we can keep cruising and really hitting poppers because I had no idea what was going on. Anyway, here we go. AGFY. Let's look at it. Agrify, I bet it's getting set up. Yeah, it was moving today. I was going to say, keep an eye on this. And another one, it looks like it wants to squeeze up here and curl up really fast. I'm telling you, I really think we might see these patterns change, and we'll kind of have an idea tomorrow, I bet. So I'll keep you guys posted. You know that, BLNK, and that's why I want to get my computer all fixed because today I couldn't really do a whole lot. It seemed kind of, I felt lost, honestly. I was like, oh man, this is weird. I was trying to use my other one, but I had to keep running back and forth to try to clean this one off and do that. So it wasn't very productive, but I got everything done. It just wasn't productive trading, I'll say. Anyway, BLNK, Blink Charging. This is trying to move up. They do have their earnings on the 13th right there next Thursday. And out of the basement, curling up there. So keep an eye on that good old Blink. And there you go with that. And oh, there you go. Something was added to the team thread. What is that? I don't even know what that is. I have no idea what that is. What's that even say? Say hi to join W3Q Trading Mentor. I don't even know what that is. What the heck is that? I have no idea what that is. Did I add? I didn't add that. I don't even know what that is. Laptop travel, be honest with you. I have no idea. What is that? Huh, that's odd. I have no clue. I have to look now on my page that I didn't post that thing. I don't even know what that is. Laptop Travel seems to know. Let's see, because he just posted it and then oh, a scammer alert. Okay, I was gonna say, what the heck is that? Oh, I see the space there. Oh, it's SMI. Yeah, there's all. I'm telling you, there's like a million of them now, and it's kind of crazy. I guess. Thanks. I didn't realize what was said. I didn't even look where it said camera alert. I missed it because it was in blue. Told you my vision's the worst, guys. I don't notice things ever. But thank you. And yeah, if you ever see any fake accounts, just report them. I've reported them, and everyone I know reports them, and they just seem to like stick around for a while and they like contact people. Clearly, I don't really reach out to anybody. Yeah, I tell you, is the DM me and I'll answer back. So just make sure I have the check mark and you know it's me. And because there's a bunch of them. I'm like, holy shit, I guess it's kind of flattering, but don't want people being taken advantage of clearly. So obviously be careful with that, and everybody that if you talk to anyone or follow anyone bigger, because there's a ton of scam accounts out there and fake things. It's bizarre world we live in where everyone just wants to scam people. It's so weird. But anyway, Sezzle, SEZL. Let's see what this is getting set up. It was down a little bit, and this one's going to get set up. Watch if it dips anymore, but that'll get set up right there. And the Sterling's trying to get running, guys. I told you it was down at that bottom down here. at that 105 and you're at 128, hitting that 20. So watch it at 130. But it looks really good, guys. And remember, we were saying that was its bottom. And yeah, that one looks really good to get cruising some more. Keep an eye on that. I know I've been saying that the last few days. And good old Rivian, it was trying to get set up today. It was up a little bit, and I think yesterday could have been its bottom. I wasn't convinced, but we'll see what it wants to do tomorrow. It could pull back a little bit more right there. And good old Symbotic here was up today. And I think yesterday was at bottom on Symbotic. So you can keep an eye on SYM right there. And it ran 2284 and it came down actually to 2150. It closed at 2272. So it is setting up, bouncing around for SYM. And there you go for Symbotic. And let's go ahead, do our SPY, our big caps, and all them bad boys real quick. And let's see, our SPY was up 620. And again, I was saying I'm not completely convinced though. It doesn't look like it wants to keep running. It does look like it wants to base out, though. And this is what I was trying to say earlier. I do think it's getting set up. It could easily be like a 1 day base, but I don't think so. It looks like it has a few days left in it. So we will see. I do think it's going to get much better, and or we might not see any more real hardcore pullback on this. So the bottoms could have been in yesterday at 572. Today came down to that 573. We'll see tomorrow, but again, I'm not completely convinced. Could open up green, turn around red, and go green again, just as it did today. We're kind of seeing that pattern a lot, to be honest with you. And I could see it kind of happening some more as they get set up. So, yeah, I think we still have a few more days, but they are looking much better. And I think our bottoms are coming in and we can start moving. Apple was down a little bit. It looked like it was trying to move in the after hours. But again, I'm not convinced it's ready. It did have that nice pullback today. 237 came down to 229. It's at 235, though. So it bounced back up. But again, I'm not completely convinced. We will have to look at these in the morning. Amazon was up 456. Remember, we think this one bottomed out yesterday. Looking pretty good. Maybe have a little bit of pullback in it tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure as it's getting set up here. But again, this one's looking pretty good to get set up. Google's looking good to get set up. That was up 238. And this one's hitting that crawling up. And if that pattern can change, this thing's going to get cruising. Google will be really rolling right there. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on these in the morning, obviously, and throughout the day to see what's going on. I think it's a pretty big day tomorrow to see what's happening here. Meta does look like it's trying to curl up and get cruising. It was right back up like $16 today. So it took that nice dip yesterday down to what, 623, and it's back at 655. So Meta looking better, to be honest with you. And Microsoft, that was up 1241 to 401 right now. And let's see if it can cross through tomorrow. If it crosses through tomorrow, it's going to get rocking and rolling. That 20's right there at 405, but we'll see what it can do. And again, it has some really good momentum coming up on that MACD. The pattern lately has been it's hitting and coming down. So we'll see if it crosses through. We know they're going to start doing it. They'll all start doing it, to be honest with you. Not just because Microsoft, you could see it across the board. Nvidia is just a little bit of pullback. It was up like $1.31. And again, not looking like it wants to get flying just yet, but yesterday could have been its bottom at that 108, and it's at 116 right now. So that is Nvidia. And good old Tesla right here. That one's trying to set back up. It was up $7 and it is trying to curl up. Remember, it already tried like 1, 2, 3, like 4 times here. So I think Tesla's going to get rocking and rolling. I think yesterday could have been its bottom there at 261. We're at 278. So keep an eye on Tesla. Although it's not set up super bullish, I'm not going to lie. So we will keep an eye on it for sure. And let's take a look at our AMC, and that's your Mag 7 right there. AMC was down a little bit today. It wasn't really cruising around too much, to be honest with you. Yeah, it was like what 313 to 316. It actually came down to 301 and it closed at 307, so it wasn't doing a whole lot right there. GameStop was up, and this thing again trying to curl up really hard on that MACD. We'll see if it can get through tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting day for all of these, so I can tell you that right now. I am definitely interested. And Chewy was up, and Chewy, remember we were saying looked pretty good yesterday. It was setting back up right here. It ran up, and keep an eye on it because it looks like it wants to get cruising. So keep an eye on Chewy, and that Unity was looking good, and we thought that was trying to roll off the MACD. It does look like it. So keep an eye on the letter U for good old Unity because it's looking good. And let's look at good old Netflix because that was up $18. And again, it's trying to curl up here. So if these things start going, these Netflix is going to keep on going. It'll go right through 1,000 and keep on rolling. It's at like 988, 990 or something. So there you go. And obviously, we're Hawkeye in these things because they're right there. And now we can see that they're actually getting ready to do it. And now we just want to time it out perfect. AVGO, that Broadcom, they have their earnings coming up. When is it? Tomorrow, actually. So I think it came all the way down to the bottom for its earnings. And I do think it's going to pop up. Just watch for that dip and rip. But yesterday at 180, looks like it's bottom 180.48. It's at 186 or something right now, and that is AVGO, and that's been pulling back there. MU, that was up $3, and it's trying to curl up. So another one I'll be keeping my eye on tomorrow, and I'll be going through this list hardcore all day. I can tell you that right now. Maybe I'll even hop on in the as the market opens and do a cool show and tell you what's going on, and we can nail some trades or something because again they were just pulling back. We knew that the spy and everything was coming down, but if these are going to get rolling, TSM was named out yesterday by Trump. It was up 428 today, and again it's trying to curl up. It did it a few times. We'll see if it's ready. If it's ready, it's getting rolling. SMCI, that was trying to cruise. It's pulling back a little bit. It was down just a hair, but it could be basing out and not really not doing a whole lot as it pulls back right there. So that's a good look for it to try to base out as well. And let's see what else is going on. 4 a.m. Is that what I said? No, not definitely not 4 a.m. Nah, as the market opens at 9:15, 9:30, it's like 9:25. I'll do it around them. I'll hop on at 4 a.m. It's more of the smaller caps and things like that. The spy and stuff isn't really that crazy, and the options don't even trade. But yeah, I'll hop on at like 9:15 ish, and do it around then and see what's going on. And obviously we'll definitely be on 7 a.m., but I think they could be trying to get cruising. SMCI is pulling back there, and again I'll keep you guys updated. You know that SMCI looks like it's pulling back. AMD was trying to get cruising yesterday and a little bit today, and another one, if it can make that curl up, it's going to get really cruising right here. I'm not convinced it's ready yet, but it does look like it's trying to get set up, but I don't think it's ready tomorrow. And QCOM, that one's actually trying to make a big hook up there. So this one's probably going to be a pretty good one. QCOM. Keep your eye on that to try to run up. And again, watch for a pullback as well as it's curling up, a big curl. They're not exactly ready 100%, but I think we're getting there where some of these are going to start crossing through the MACDs, changing that pattern, and then things are going to get moving. Intel was down, just pulling back a little bit more. So watch for Intel to pull back a hair. Yeah, it looks like it's pulling back a little bit. And PayPal, this thing was down there. It was starting to move today. I think yesterday was its bottom at that 66.34. This thing was like at like $90, almost at 100 at one point, I think. And yeah, it just came way down. It took a couple tries to get through. It's trying to get out that bottom, and this doesn't like or get out the basement. It doesn't like the basement much. Keep an eye on good old PayPal right there because I think PayPal could try to get rolling. And I know Laptop Travel had mentioned that as well earlier. And yeah, it does look like it wants to try to move right there. Let's see what Snow is doing. I know it was going up. and it is curling up really good. And another one I got to keep an eye on tomorrow. It's got that look like it could hit it and come back down. I'm not 100% convinced on these. Some of the smaller ones might do it. There's a few that might, some might not. We'll see. I'll take a look. If most of them can do it, they'll start crushing through, and then we'll just know which ones aren't going to go through. They'll give us that look, but right now they've all been kind of falling apart, even with the look that they want to go up. Dell was up 318. That could be its bottom yesterday. I'm not convinced. And another one we'll look at tomorrow and see what it's up to right there. And PLTR, Palantir, that was up five something. And this is starting to curl back up. And this one could move kind of fast. I'm not going to lie. It's on that 50. The 20's up here at like 102, and it is trying to curl up there. And like I said, it could try to roll pretty fast right there. So keep an eye on PLTR. We'll look at that, see if it's really trying to move. It's a good opportunity if it is. And Sophie looks like it tried to bottom out and yesterday, but again, not completely convinced. It could run into next week to get set up, and that's what some of them look like. They still look like they might have a few days left in them, and so we'll get a better ID tomorrow. Mara did cross up there. Look at that. That crossed through. It's hitting the 20. Let's see if it can get through it tomorrow. So, yeah, Mara's crossed up and trying to hit that 20. That one's a great one to look at for tomorrow morning. We'll have to take a look at it. And good old Riot's trying to get curled up and try to get moving. And yesterday looks like it's bottom at 795. So we'll have to keep an eye on Riot. So yeah, crypto and stuff is looking much better. And again, we have a crypto summit at the White House on Friday, and I think that's what's going to kick everything else, kick everything off. MSTR up $33 and looking good, hitting that line tomorrow. If it gets through, it's going to like 500. Maybe not tomorrow, but like I said, it's going to just start cruising. If it hits that line, bounces down, you're going to get a great opportunity for the next time. And again, you have that happening on Friday. I don't know. Maybe they are. It could easily cross through. CLSK looking real strong, clean spark, and that wants to cross through. And then I know Coinbase was up $9, and that wants to get curling up and looks good. And Hood, HOOD, this one was also not looking bad. It was up $1.90 and looks like it's trying to bottom out there yesterday. So a lot of them have that look. DJT was up today a little bit. That looks like it tried to bottom out yesterday and wants to try to get rolling soon. So we'll keep an eye on DJT and see if the Trump media is finally ready. And PHUN, good old Funware, came out of the basement, and I think we had a great dip opportunity, and that bottom was yesterday, it looks like. So keep your eye on PHUN, because I think it was a really good dip that was set up before, and it's obviously going to try to run. And I think DJT will get running as well as the rest of the market starts to move. So there you go with them. And let's look at MTN. That mountain was up a little bit. Maybe yesterday was its bottom. It is crossed through. It was looking good last week and couldn't get moving. So we'll look at Val and see what it wants to do right there, MTN. And good old McDonald's was up. And remember, I said I was like wondering if he would call out McDonald's, but it doesn't look great. It was up today, but it does look like it needs to curl up there. So I'll look at it and see what McDonald's wants to do. Yeah, that one's definitely interesting. It's on the 20. There's some resistance above it, and it does look like it wants to pull back a little bit for McDonald's. MCD and Boeing, this was up $4, and again, this one was pulling back until last night. That helped it out big time, and we'll see. I'm not 100% convinced that it's ready, so we'll see if that kind of parachuted it down after the speech last night. We'll look at Boeing and SPCE. Let's look at that. It's up 9 cents. Yesterday could have been its bottom, and that looks like it's trying to curl up. I'll definitely look at that tomorrow. IBM was down a little bit, but just making a base right there. Not bad. Good old Disney was up, but nothing real crazy right there. Kind of just making a base. Let's see. Actually, it crossed down right there. I'll look at Disney tomorrow morning and see what they want to do. And Oxy, this was down a dollar too, and so is Exxon Mobil. That was down 210. So I was surprised. I thought they would actually try to run, but definitely not. And Nike was up 49 cents. This one's hitting that MACD from coming down. We know they like to curl back up. So watch for that one to try to curl up. And DXYZ looks like it's trying to set up, and we'll keep an eye on it to see. And maybe the smaller cap ones are going to start curling through first and then pull the bigger caps. Like I said, some of them small caps could run before, and then obviously the big caps can run after that. So that's what your SPY, your Mag 7, your big caps, and all them guys are looking like. And let me go ahead and look at our crypto real quick and see what that is up to. Let's see what's up to, what crypto prices are up to right now. Bitcoin looks like it's at what? 91,638. And Solana's at 149 now. And let's see right here. Where's Ethereum? 2,278. And let's see, Cardano's at 96, so they are starting to move up, and Ripple's at 252 right there. Doge is at 20, just under 21. Chainlink at 17.15, looking pretty good. And our H bar's at 25 cents and not looking bad also. So let's take a look and see what their charts look like real quick and see what's happening over here. Yeah, Bitcoin not bad. I'm telling you, these things want to get cruising too. I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, they do look pretty good to roll up there. That just crossed up there. Let's see, Solana's at 149 at the moment. And let's see. Not looking bad, not looking bad. Yeah, Solana looks like it wants to try to run up there. Just kind of getting set up, I would say, for Friday. Cardano's at 95. That one had already run up, pulled back to the 50, so it could kind of run up some more. Ripple's at 252 at the moment. And let's see what that bad boy's doing. Oh, yeah, Ripple wants to try to get moving up again. So yeah, I would say that they're getting set up to get cruising again, and Doge is at just under 21. And let's see what that chart looks like real quick. And that's just making a base and trying to curl. Oh, Doge is looking pretty good too. Watch them say something about Dogecoin or something on Friday. That one's looking real good. And this H bar, we got to keep an eye on this thing. I'm telling you, this thing don't look bad at 25 cents right now. And let's see, H bar. That thing looks like it wants to run up, guys. So keep an eye on that H bar as well. And there you go with our crypto. It's looking pretty damn good right now. So I would say that is that right there. The market closed green. Crypto's looking good. And I think we just nailed everything right there. Investor SPY, the dawn of the tectonic shift. I don't even know what that's talking about. Consumers elected Trump to lower prices. His policies could do the opposite. Automakers get a Trump tariff reprieve for 1 month. S&P 500 futures are flat after market stages a comeback rally fueled by hopes for tariff concessions, and European bonds sell off amid German market swings. Let's see what's going on the scanners right here. If I see anything, that GV, like I said, keep an eye on that bad boy. Ford is looking pretty good. What is CMRX? This looks like it was trying to run up Chimerex or something. And that's in the top. I don't know if I'd care too much for that one. PLTR. Lucid's way down there. That looks like it could be getting set back up. Keep your eye on Lucid, guys. That's way down there. And that's Sax Parente Golf, SPGC. Let me take a quick look at that one. That one, it could be trying to get set up. It's not ready yet. I'll take a look at it tomorrow. And B Hat was looking pretty good. That ARBB was on there yesterday, ran up in SLXN. Let's see what that one's doing right here. That ran up today and isn't looking terrible. It's hitting that 50 though, so we'll take a look at that. CYCU, and we already know about all them. Let me see if anything else is going on over here real quick. And boom, boom, boom. Let's see anything that's way down, but nothing crazy. I think we got all that. I don't see anything grabbing my attention, that's for sure. And yeah, we'll just have to see how that market opens up tomorrow. Let me see what's trending on StockTwits real quick for you guys. And let's see what's going on over here. RGTI way down. Remember, I was telling you just to be careful and or be patient on these bad boys. That's why we haven't been going over them. But yeah, they've been kind of pulling back. It was up a little bit today, but pulled back in them after hours. And I think it's going to be dipping down a little bit more. So I'll keep an eye on them. AVGO is down. MRVL is down. Marvel. Marvell Technology, that one looks like it had earnings what today? It did have earnings today. It looks like it's down on here. 12% it looks like. MDB, what is that one? MDB, I don't even know. Oh, that's a MongoDB. I thought them letters looked familiar, but that's because we just went over this thing. They have earnings as of tomorrow. Today they had earnings. They didn't look too bad. It's just kind of pulling back, nothing crazy. MDB, maybe it was. Maybe it pulled back big in the earnings, huh? 258 to 265 today. Now it's at came down to 212 and it's at 221. It did pull back right there. And again, Finviz doesn't really show much. Let's see, JD. Let's see what that company's up to. That's a China company, and they had earnings, I think, tomorrow, and that looks like it could be trying to pop up there. And what's ZS? I don't even know what ZS is. Um, Zscaler, and that's a software company in the U.S. And this thing had earnings and is trying to curl up. Keep an eye on that. They had earnings today and not looking bad for a curl up. And Tree, is that Dollar Tree? I'm not even sure. Lending Tree it is. And that had earnings, it looks like today as well. Today was a big earnings day, this March 5th, the Wednesday we were talking about it. And it is trying to curl up. And again, we have to make sure that they want to go through. And obviously, GM's on here because of Ford and all that. So that is going up a little bit. So keep your eye on GM and Ford and them guys. And what's VSCO? Victoria's Secret. Whoa, that's way down in the basement. Holy cow, Victoria's Secret. This could be a great one to keep an eye on right here. I wonder if this company's going, huh? We might have to evaluate Victoria's Secret right here, huh? Let me see. Nah, they look like they're gonna be all right, probably. Let me see. It's all the way down to 2173 right there. Nah, it's all right. It'll get bouncing back up. It was just ran up there. I don't know what they were doing. Oh, in December, because people buy it for Christmas and then it pulls back and it'll run back up. They'll probably sell a ton of like bikinis or something. Who the hell knows? But that's VSCO and that's on there as well. Victoria's Secret. And there you go. I would say that's a pretty good market review right there for everybody. And you know that we'll check out PHAT. Let's look at fat right there. That was moving up 50 cents today. We were looking at this bad boy, and it is running up that biotech company Phantom. And yeah, that thing is running up there. So keep an eye on PHAT. Let me see. Yeah, it could run up into the 650 area, right? Yeah, 650s. It's at 608 and we were talking about it ran up today, so that's a good one. Oh yeah, let me run through. I didn't even run through the messages. Holy cow. Told you I'm like fried. Let me run through these bad boys and see. Can you chart is it MILIF? Let's see. Let me see. Is that like an OTC one? I never even heard of that one. Let me look. MILIF. It is an OTC one, Military Metals Corp. And yeah, I can. This one's not too bad. It's at 37 cents. And honestly, it's not a bad one, to be completely honest. Let it pull back a little bit. It looks like it's just getting set up here. This might be a pretty good one. I thought it must say MILF too. MILIF. If you read it real fast, I was like, just say MILF? But no, it's MILF and Military Metals Corp. So yeah, keep an eye on that. That could really be a good one, Highland Contact. So jot that one down. Let me write that down. MILIF. And there you go. All right, there we go. And we'll keep an eye on that one. And let's see that MSTU. Let's see, that's the micro strategy. I know that that's the micro strategy ETF long, and it is looking pretty good. Let's see. Like I said, it's curling up. Let's see if it gets through. They got to get through that resistance tomorrow, so we'll find out and see if these patterns are changing a little bit. mRNA, let's look at that. Moderna. Remember we were looking at this thing and it had pulled. Now it's running up there. It was up 484 and it is looking really good. I'm telling you, we're always early, aren't we? Because when we put these on the list like 3 weeks ago and 2 weeks ago maybe, and 31.99 up to 35.44, and it's running up here. It should be running up tomorrow to 37 area. So there you go with Moderna. There you go. Luis Rodriguez. We were definitely early on that bad boy. And let's see what else is going on. Boom, boom, MFI. We got all that. Oh yeah, I remember that you posted. Luis Rodriguez had posted something I didn't look at. It was a chart. Oh, 8:30 tomorrow. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff going on tomorrow morning. 8:30 a.m. the initial jobless claims. 8:30 a.m. U.S. productivity in Q4. 8:30 a.m. the U.S. trade deficit. 10 a.m. wholesale inventories. 3:30 the Fed Governor Christopher Waller speaks. And that's 7 p.m. The Atlanta Fed President Bostic speaks. So pretty busy day there. I'll retweet that so you guys can see it. And thank you. And then Powell speaks Friday at 12:30. So all kinds of craziness going on right there. And let me see. Oh, I just clicked off. What did I just do? Oh, here we go. Let me see. Doom doom. Let me make sure I got everything. There was one UAMY. Let me see that one real quick. UAMY. That's United States Anatomy Corp. Yeah, that looks pretty good to try to run up there. Looks like it bottomed out yesterday. UAMY. I'm not even familiar with that, but that has some momentum. Watch that thing for tomorrow morning, guys. That's at $1.54 right now and looks pretty good. The 20's up there at like $1.68. So not looking bad right there. And let's see what else is going on real quick. ASTS, OCGN. Reported revenues fell 87.3%. Oh, wow, that's crazy. So yeah, I remember we were saying that's why we've been watching it fall down. And I kind of thought maybe it would turn around. Let's see. Let's see if they turn it back around now. So that's kind of crazy that it was doing that, and they reported that bad, and that GV that was way up, and I think I got everything else right there. I'm pretty sure, and if not, let me know if I missed anything. Let me see. I think I got everybody right there. Yeah, I think so. I think VSCO. Let me see. What's that one? VSCO. Let me see. VSCO. Oh, that's that Victoria's Secret. We just looked at. There's no way it can be a dumb. I know. He said I see my wife's purchases. I was gonna say I think it's just because it had run up so much at Christmas time and it was way at the top that it's just a little healthy pullback, to be honest with you. And that company, duh, I mean, you go in there during the holidays and the line's like out the door to try to get a gift card. It's insane. So I don't doubt it. Again, I was looking at it saying, nah, that thing's perfectly fine. We'll watch for the bottom. It'll be a great one to run up there. So I agree 100%. Women shop there way too much for Victoria's Secret, and I'm guessing that they all buy bathing suits and stuff there too. So it probably has like if I went back and looked, I wouldn't be surprised if it did this. Yep, last year December and March took a huge dip down in March, and then it started running back up in August. And it ran all the way from August to December and then just took a dip down to March. And you know it's about to happen again. So that's exactly, I didn't even have to look at the chart to see what it was going to do, but that's exactly what it did, what we just said. Yeah, they go crazy in the winter time, at Christmas time, and in the summertime. And that's enough revenue and to hold, I mean, they get big booms like that in them seasons that it's just crazy amounts of revenue. And then they do great throughout the rest of the year that it's just a solid company. So that's Victoria's Secret. And obviously it's a solid company. So there you go. I didn't know it was so cheap. It's only at $22. I can't believe it. That's why I was surprised. But yep, there you go, Victoria's Secret, everybody, and we'll keep our eye on that bad boy for sure because that is way down there. And there you go. I would say that's a good market review, and you know we'll be on at 7 a.m. for our pre-market live show, and we'll do our Jolie's jumpers and our laptop lowdowns. We'll look at crypto, see how it's looking a day before our summit at the White House, and we'll obviously look at our SPY and everybody and see what's going on. Because, like I said, I'm not 100% convinced, but these charts could be changing up a little bit, and maybe that pattern will change up a little bit, and these things will start cruising. So, there you go, everybody. Thank you for hanging out, Laptop Travel. Thanks for your list, and everybody check out that second tier. And tomorrow I'll go through them all again. Like I said, I just wanted to hop off a little early. It's already 10:40, but it's still early. And I'll get my computer all figured out, all finished up, actually. It's all figured out, all finished up, and I'm good to go. And I'm happy because, like I said, I didn't know what was going on. Then I thought I had a virus, and I was like, oh man, F my life right now. This is going to be a nightmare. But thank God it wasn't. So there you go, guys. Thanks again for everybody hanging out. Laptop Travel, Doge Mama 9, Profit Logics, how are you? Jay Kratz, and Luis Rodriguez. And of course, Touch the Sky there in Austin, and Abundance Mindset, Bong Pri Chan, and Barbie 8, it says, I think, and Super Supret Nathan, how are you? And there's a bunch of other people on there, so I greatly appreciate everybody that tunes in, hangs out for a little while, and even catches the replay, and everybody, of course, that hangs out the whole time. I always greatly appreciate it. And yeah, last night me and Doge Mama were hanging out watching the Trump thing for a few minutes together, and like I'm kind of actually it wasn't one of them things that you can really comment on. So and you know what? I guess it was so much fun commenting on the Biden ones that we just had a field day with them things. So I don't know. We'll have to pick and choose which ones that we can really do like a party because there really isn't a whole lot to comment on it. It was just kind of sitting there like, yeah, that's agree with that. That's good. So, but we were having a good time. So if you listen, like I said, I'm gonna post everything up tonight, all the videos, because I finally figured out where they were, and I had to like download them from the cloud today. It was crazy, I'm telling you. So anyway, I'll have everything up to date and all that good stuff. And again, everyone, thanks for hanging out, tuning in. Any questions, let me know, and we'll rock and roll through this stuff tomorrow. And I'm telling you, I think we're going to be bottoming out, and these options are going to start getting crazy again, guys. Remember when they were running like right in December when they were nutty? These things are bottomed out way further than that now. These things are going to get cruising, so it will be really good, I think. So we will be nailing everything. And again, we basically shorted the SPY down from last Sunday. Kind of knew it was coming down. And just even if you didn't play anything and just played it safe, we had a few poppers all week, couple 100%ers. So we knew it was moving. And again, you could just be very, very careful and hold your cash and wait for these times because if you hold out a week or two and then load up at the very bottom on options and they go flying like they should, that's where you make your money instead of trying to play them when they're real risky and volatile and they're real hard to see what's going on. And again, I was saying be extremely patient there. And that's what I was talking about. Be sure to always save, trade smart and lock in those profits because especially times like this, you got to really just think outside the box and don't stress yourself out about it. Just kind of take a day off if you have to, or pull yourself out of it for a little bit and go do something that you enjoy and think about it because it will. When these things are pulling back, they'll drive you nuts. And again, that pattern, if we had never picked that up, these things would be driving me nuts right now still because they were starting to drive me crazy because some of them, they were curling up. They were curling up with great momentum and then just falling apart. And once we picked that out, it was kind of relieving that we knew exactly what was going to happen and you could kind of just hold off on them a little bit and play them a lot safer and smarter rather than be aggressive when they're just pulling back on us. So there you go, everybody. Thanks again for hanging out, and I'll be back at 7 a.m. So I will catch you guys in the morning. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the morning.